What if I told you I would come in and give you a 60% down payment, get to your full asking price, but I want to carry your remaining 40% as a joint venture relationship with me, the buyer. Mind you, I own 341 doors, so I'm a moderate player in the industry, but we'll carry your equity forward, at a 5, 7, 10-year balloon. Obviously, everything is negotiable. So it's usually principal payment only on that 40% equity being carried forward. So by doing so, you're looking at a blended interest rate of around 3-4%, which is unheard of.
It's amazing.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm Kristen, and I'm here with Steven Glaude. He is a licensed agent, investor, coach, syndicator. He's got so much going on, and we're going to talk about the equity carry method. And I'm excited to have him. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So what got you into real estate in the beginning? What did you enter through?
Sales has always been my thing. So was in the Marine Corps shortly after high school, kind of brought me out west. So I'm originally from Rhode Island, raised in Massachusetts. So came to California, got out of the service and realized I needed a job to pay the bills.
Right.
There was a car dealership right across the street. They were selling Corvettes and Suburbans. And so I walked my happy ass across the street, applied, got myself a job, and the rest has been history. So I moved from selling cars to selling tech, and from selling tech to selling real estate.
And what drew you into real estate?
Always had a passion about real estate. I initially got my license to help buyers realize their dream about home ownership. Evolved into listing homes, from there to fixing and flipping properties. Started an Airbnb arbitrage business before Airbnb arbitrage was a thing. And then transitioned yet again into commercial real estate, where during the pandemic, we bought 3 hotels, converted 334 keys into 341 studio apartments in the Jacksonville, Florida market. So that was a $16.9 million purchase. Wow. Upon exit, we're looking at about a $54.5 million exit in about 36 months from today.
Wow, that's amazing. And kind of, how did that feel to get into the market? When did you realize that this could actually be a career?
It's always been a passion of mine. I've always loved real estate. I always looked at apartment buildings as a kid and wondered what it would be like to be that landlord owning that building. Started looking at conventional commercial real estate when I made that transition from Airbnb arbitrage to commercial, realizing the big play was the equity play. And then, discovered that blue ocean opportunity of converting and being a converter. So adaptive reuse is one of my passions. We also convert Kmarts into interior self-storage facilities. We're actually working on a Kmart in North Augusta, South Carolina, which is going to be converted into a self-storage facility.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so adaptive reuse has been my passion, and being creative and having that creative mindset, realizing the potential upside in either a building and or an opportunity. can present opportunities that would not necessarily come to light when you first initially look at them.
Yeah. What have been some other, creative conversions that you've done that you're proud of?
Well, we're doing a ground up conversion here in El Dorado Hills. It's one of the largest self-storage developments on Latrobe Road. We're looking at about 1,200 units. It's going to be about an $80 million ground up self-storage development that I spearheaded as being a syndicator. So I think in any business, acquisitions is kind of the cornerstone for any business, is to acquire especially cash flowing assets.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And that's where I came into the realization of putting together a program, and I call it the equity carry method, of being able to approach sellers who've been on the market for a while. They really want to retain their equity because more than likely it's their retirement. And so for them to accept an offer at 60, 70 cents on the dollar is just going to wipe out their retirement. So a lot of sellers are holding strong, hoping for a market shift, which just hasn't happened. And so I've come up with a option seek. So conventionally, we're looking at either option A cash offer, and then offer B would be coming in with a seller financing offer. If they own the property free and clear, let me come in with a 10% down payment. You carry 90% at a low interest rate. But that doesn't get sellers off the fence, because the reason why they're selling in the first place is they probably want a big influx of capital to do something with, whether it's to travel, pay some bills, retire early, what have you. So that's where I came up with this equity carry method. It's commonly known as a stack method. It's been around for a while. It's not something I've made up from scratch. I've done some iterations, some tweaks to make it a little bit more unique and a little more advantageous for the seller to accept. But in essence, what we're doing is we're coming in at the seller's asking price. And by doing so, we're carrying the equity of that seller forward with a 40, 50, 60% down payment. Essentially, it's 2 escrows, 6 minutes apart, 2 transactions on one property, as you will. The first being a cash-like transaction, so a DSCR loan at, say, 70% loan to cost. We then have a private money lender that would lend the remaining 30%. And then literally 6 minutes later, in a separate escrow, that seller's equity that they agreed to carry forward would then repay that private money lender off. And then any overage goes to the investor buyer at close of escrow. So you're literally getting paid to buy real estate. It's
And
freaking
how did
amazing.
it's so creative and incredible. How break down like the numbers of how that differs from the other options of how to pay for real estate.
Well, as I mentioned, if you wanted to buy something as an investor, you want to have upside. And if you're paying cash right now, capital is expensive. So you're going to come in historically, and the rule of thumb for most investors, it's 70 cents on the dollar, or 70% of ARV after repair value, minus repairs, and then minus any type of an assignment fee that you're hoping to obtain if you were to assign your rights for that contract to another buyer. So that pretty much equates to around 60 cents on the dollar. Not a lot of folks get excited about a cash offer at 60 cents on the dollar. But what if I told you I would come in and give you a 60% down payment, get to your full asking price, but I want to carry your remaining 40% as a joint venture relationship with me, the buyer. Mind you, I own 341 doors, so I'm a moderate player in the industry, but we'll carry your equity forward, at a 5, 7, 10-year balloon. Obviously, everything is negotiable. I try to, in essence, offer them a 0% interest. So it's usually principal payment only on that 40% equity being carried forward. So by doing so, you're looking at a blended interest rate of around 3-4%, which is unheard of. And as long as that NOI, net operating income, exceeds the PITI on the first and the PITI on the second, and I'm cash flow positive day one of close of escrow, then who would not want to buy a 12-plex in Texas?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
You get paid $130,000 at close of escrow, and you're making $971 a month on actuals. You now can take that $130,000, pay potentially your bridge loan costs for that private money lender, pay all of your closing costs for that acquisition, pay the assignment fee to a wholesaler who may have brought you that equity carry method deal, and you now have capital remaining for reserves and to do those capital improvements in order for you to realize that pro forma rent, which where 99% of the properties that are marketed in today's market are being advertised at. Everything that you see on Crexi and LoopNet, they're sitting because they're being advertised with pro forma rents, not actuals, right? So who wants to buy a property on pro forma? Nobody. But I can pay a pro forma price if you're open to doing something creative.
That's amazing. And do you have to, how much convincing does it take when you kind of,
I don't convince.
Yeah.
I don't convince. I attract, I don't chase.
Right.
Right. And that's how I operate my life. Whether I'm dating or going after properties, it's how I operate. It's like, hey, if you want a piece of this is how it's going to work. This is the benefit. Here are the pros, here are the cons, just like there's pros and cons to taking a cash offer at 60 cents on the dollar, right? So with that being said, I present that offer. My offer is good today. It's good 30 days from now. It's good 6 months from now, right? So when you're ready to move forward, here's my number, here's my contact information. We look forward to doing business with you. And then it's just on to the next. And my close ratio, Kristen, is like through the roof.
Wow.
It is through the roof. It's probably 1 in 3.
Wow.
And they're going, okay, let's move forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Oh, no, keep going.
I was going to say, I just launched my school, SKOOL, about 10 days ago. Got 57 signups. I haven't released it yet to the public, but we go through deals Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 4 p.m. Pacific. So my next class is coming up in 32 minutes. And we will role play, look at projects, discuss how to uncover opportunities, I have a customized equity carry method underwriting calculator that will allow you to see how to structure the deal and whether it's a deal that you want to pursue or not, right? As buyers, we carry all the leverage, not the sellers, right? I can't buy every apartment building in the country as much as I would like to, but I can only buy the ones that are open to this equity carry method and that are going to be cash flow positive day one at close of escrow.
And you're doing a lot of deals.
Doing a lot of deals.
Talk about how many you're doing like per week, per month.
Right now, I just launched this about 3 weeks ago, and I'm averaging about 3 deals a week.
That's amazing.
And
That's
that's just myself.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's really cool that the real estate market always like impresses me because there's always so many creative ways to leverage what you're trying to do. And this is just another example of that. So, I
Yep.
mean, it's exactly what you said. If people are open to being creative, there's so much opportunity.
100%. And it goes for the both buyers and sellers. Right? If you're open to doing something creative, there's a way we can get this deal done. 100% legal.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
You know, everything's on paper, everything's disclosed. There's no smoke and mirrors. We're creating an LLC and or trust. The seller basically has a junior position in that LLC as a beneficiary. If the buyer fails to make 2 consecutive payments, buyer is pushed out of that trust. Then the property goes right back to the seller. So there's no need to foreclose, no foreclosure necessary.
Mhm.
So, and obviously we're going to vet the properties and do our due diligence, including inspections, make sure the property is, as they say it is, and make sure that the rent roll and T12 line up to what we're underwriting. But if we're cash flowing, at close of escrow, then, how would we fail?
Yeah. Are there any downsides to this, to the equity carry method?
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero. It's all upside. It's upside for the buyer and it's an upside for the seller. Seller gets their price. Buyer gets to buy a piece of real estate with 110% financing, realizing 10% cash at close of escrow.
Yeah.
Now so the buyer it's not just any Joe Schmo buyer off the street. They need to qualify for a DSCR loan. They need to have a 640 credit score and not a huge credit score. They need to have some real estate experience. But, that's, a fair amount of investors out there looking to build their portfolio, whether it's adding a duplex or a fourplex. Obviously, if you're looking at larger properties, say 12 doors or more, you're going to have to flip that into a commercial loan. Those commercial loans take a little longer to close. There's a little more hurdles for the investor buyer to qualify for that particular loan. But no, it's just upside for both if you're open, willing, and able to doing something creative. Now, if you have no equity, right? If you have very little equity, maybe you bought the property a year ago or 2 years ago and you have very little equity, we can then do a mortgage takeover, which is basically a sub-2 purchase via a trust acquisition. And then we take over your position in your loan, any remaining equity. We can then structure a seller carry on that remaining equity. It's just there's not a lot of sellers that are in that position, especially if you're looking at multifamily in the Midwest. So in the Midwest, rents are high in proportion to the purchase price of said property. So that's where you can really get some decent cash flow, some great appreciation. Rents have been stagnant now and will continue to run stagnant until I think 2027. So I think this is a good time as investors to pick up real estate creatively. So only, imagine where you're going to be in 2 years when interest rates come tumbling down. What happens when interest rates come tumbling down? Buyers now have more leverage to buy more real estate. And so now it's going to flip into a buyer's market. So where things have not been very competitive for buyers will become very competitive. Prices will soar, so will rents. So this equity carry method has, I think, a longevity or a lifespan of maybe 18 to 24 months. So, you have a very small window to leverage this tactic.
Wow. And you were talking about like blended interest rates in relation to this. Can you talk about that?
Sure. Yeah. So in essence, what you're doing is you got 2 escrows, 1 transaction. You have the seller's equity that's being carried forward. So hypothetically, let's say you come in with a 50% down payment, seller is carrying their 50% equity forward. Let's say you negotiate with that seller a 10-year balloon on that seller's equity at a 0% interest rate. So in most cases, I'll negotiate with the seller like, hey, if I were to get to your asking price, I want to carry your equity forward, but I'm not paying you interest. This is not a loan. This is a way for me to preserve your equity, move it forward in installments. So think of this as like an installment sale on your equity at a 0% interest rate. Mind you, in first position, or that primary loan is going to be a debt service coverage ratio loan, probably at 7.5%, 8%, right? So if you blend the seller's equity carry in that JV relationship at 0, and then you have a DSCR loan at 8, now you're looking at a blended interest rate of 4%, which you can't find anywhere.
Right.
That allows you to do 100, 105, 110% financing on these assets.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're very optimistic about the market right now, then. You think it's a great time to buy.
It's the best time to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best time to buy.
I love
Doesn't
hearing.
get any better.
Yeah, I love
Doesn't get
hearing
any better.
because there's a lot of like fear mongering out there. So it's nice to hear some positivity about the market.
Yeah, you want to go when people are like, moving in a certain direction, you want to move in the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't follow the masses. So when there's fear mongering, there's a reason for that, because those who are attuned to the market and understand cycles and where things are going to be in the next 24 to 36 months, those are the folks that are buckling down and looking for these opportunities and locking up these apartment buildings. Yeah, they're paying a higher interest rate, but they're able to negotiate, on doing very creative structures like they wouldn't be able to in the past, right? Because if you had 7, 8 buyers competing for one 12-unit apartment building, what's the likelihood of the seller wanting to do something creative?
Mm-hmm.
0,
Totally.
right? Yeah. They're going to like, I want my price, and oh, by the way, my price just went up.
Right.
Versus, oh, you've been on the market for 273 days. And the reason why you've been on the market for 273 days is if you sat down with the seller and the listing agent for just 30 seconds, you opened up a basic underwriting, template, and you ran through, okay, if I were to buy your apartment building, call it $1 million, did $300,000 down, and this is my cash flow, I'm looking at a cash on cash return of 1, 2, 3%. Where would you want to put your $300,000, Kristen? Would you want to put it into an apartment building making 2% cash on cash return and having to deal with toilets, termites, and tenants? Or would you take that $300,000, dump it into the stock market, make 8, 9%? And so if you sat down with the seller and the listing broker for like 30 seconds and ran through that underwriting scenario, like, okay, I'm going to buy your property. I'm going to get a DSCR loan at 70% loan to cost, which means I'm having to come up with around a 30% down payment. Call that $300,000 to make $100, $200, $300 a month, because that high interest rate is wiping out your cash flow. Why would any investor buy any of these buildings? And that's why they're sitting for 100, 200, 300 days. Versus with the equity carry method, I don't have to put any money out of pocket. Like, in fact, you're going to pay me to buy your building.
I mean, I love it. Yeah.
So my cash on cash returns are infinite.
Wow. I mean, I think this is helping so many people. This is such a unique, way to look at it.
It really is. It's a unique structure. I like to, enter the conversation with the seller like, hey, Mr. Seller, I can get you a cash offer, and my cash offer is going to be X. And they're like, well, that's kind of light. I'm like, well, that's where most of your cash offers are probably landing. Yes, no, or maybe. They're going to be like, yeah, pretty much. I go, well, here is offer Y. I'm going to have to come in at, 80 cents on the dollar in order for me to make a DSCR loan even remotely pencil, because I'm going to have to come in with 20, 25, 30% down. And then interest rates are around 8%. This is what my cash on cash returns are looking like. But, X, Y, well, I have option Z. Would you be open to me coming in at full price? And if I gave you a large down payment, would that interest you any? And they're like, write it up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just write it up. And that's what I do. Send over the offer and then rinse and repeat.
Amazing. So talk about how people can work with you, where they can find you, what kind of people you're working with, or what kind of people you're looking for in your school.
I'm looking for those individuals who have a desire to be in real estate, whether to build out your own portfolio, have your own assets that you can realize and grow with. Real estate agents, brokers who are looking to provide an additional tool for their sellers and or buyers. What's unique about my school is we will actually go through A through Z on this program. So I'll show you where to hunt, where to fish, how to underwrite, how to structure your letter of intent. You can even leverage my credibility package, my proof of funds. You can even say you work with me as an assistant with LPT Commercial Real Estate. So you're literally walking in the door with a full credibility package, presenting options A, B, or C. Obviously, C becomes highlighted because we can get to the seller's asking price. I do have a school that I just launched about 10 days ago, kept the price relatively low just as for foundational members only. Right now it's at $97 a month. So even if you got one deal, your ROI on one deal is probably 30-fold, if not higher. That price will go up to probably $297 here next week, and then I'll probably increase it yet again because I'm just one person. But I'll handle all the back end on dispositions. We have a large pool of investor buyers that want to basically acquire these properties through creative means, and it works for pretty much any type of asset: single family, multifamily, mobile home parks, you name it. Anything that has the cash flow or the net operating income that's going to allow you to cash flow after paying these two liens, it works for.
Amazing. And where can people find you?
Well, I can put my link up on the screen here and share that with everyone, my school link, and I can also share my link tree. You can find me on my various different socials, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm a family man. My daughter just started college at UC Berkeley. I'm a delightfully divorced dad and living here in Northern California. So feel free to reach out, join my school before prices go up. I'll share my link with Kristen so she can add that to whatever page that you guys are listening on, and would love to have you connect. My classes run Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 4 p.m. Pacific, and we usually are on for about 2 or 3 hours talking about deals, deal structure, and how to underwrite deals.
Amazing. Well, I really encourage everyone to check it out. Steven has so much to teach everybody, and I've learned a lot on this episode. So thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.